Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to In Session with Dr. Bryant, where we have real conversations, real healing, and real results. Today, I have a beautiful guest by the name of Enid, and we're going to talk about, just her trauma. You guys know what we talk about here in session. We're going to unpack her stuff, whatever that stuff is. And of course, the intention is that you identify with some of her stuff that you're going through, that you're experiencing. And then as we unpack, you're able to normalize some of your traumas and your pain. I always say that we can be different genders and races and ages and all that stuff. But one thing we all have in common that life has not exempt any of us to is trauma, pain, and hardship. And so we're going to get into that stuff. And then y'all going to see Dr. B do what she does, which is provide tools, open up some of those wounds, and then, of course, close her back up so that she can leave, not perfect, but with more awareness than she had when she came and with some tools that not only she can use, but also y'all watching can use as well. So without further ado, y'all, welcome my beautiful guest, Enid. Thank you so
For
much for being
having me.
here.
I'm really excited.
Good stuff. So tell me, let's start. Let's just jump right in. What
Okay.
for you? When you reached out and said, "Hey, I want to be on the couch. I want to
Yeah.
be in session." Right? What was some of the stuff that you had in mind that you wanted to unpack? What are some of the things that you feel are barriers or just the
I
pain
think
pockets
what
for you?
I'm struggling with now is it almost feels like I have two people. The little girl
Yep.
and then the logical one.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's okay.
And so it's a matter of like understanding my physical triggers
Mm-hmm.
because that's what sometimes I'm like looking from the outside in saying, wait a minute, like girl, you're fine. It's
Yeah.
okay. But I can't help how I feel.
And I love that you said it because you mentioned physical triggers.
Yes.
And I was just going to ask you,
Thank you.
you can identify your physical triggers, right? But are you able to associate or articulate what those emotions are that just came up?
No. No.
What does it feel like when you're emotional like that? Tell me what comes up in your mind and in your heart. Like just it doesn't have to sound right. Just what comes up when those emotions are inflamed. What is that?
Um, I just don't feel safe.
Mm. Safe with?
Just just myself, my own emotions. And I think a lot of those traumas have realized themselves in the men I have chosen.
Mhm.
Um, and then I had to take a look at myself and be like, the common denominator
Later, was
here is
you? Was
me.
you? Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, wait a minute,
Y
girl.
so when you say not safe with yourself, when is the last time you remember feeling safe?
I don't.
Ever? Not even as a child?
And I told myself I was gonna come here and be open
Yeah.
because I think I'm not the only one that has gone through this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if my testimony can touch one person, I feel like it'll help me sleep better at night.
Yeah.
Um, I was born in Honduras, so I
Okay.
wasn't even born here.
Yeah.
Um, with a single mom. And over there it's very different than here.
Mhm.
Uh And I just remember my mom, man, that woman has worked her tail off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But because she worked so hard, I was alone sometimes.
Do you have siblings?
I don't.
It's just you
It's just
and
me
mom.
and my mom.
Wow.
Um,
When you say alone sometimes, describe that. Like, what
where
was that
she would
aloneness
have to
for?
find somebody to possibly take care of me,
Mhm.
right? And my childhood memories are great when it came with family, like her,
Yeah.
like my family was incredible. But I was a victim of child sexual abuse
Sorry to
by
hear that.
by 3 different people.
Was this while mom was gone
Was
working and trying to figure it
working,
out? Yeah,
yeah,
she was trying to figure it out, trying to provide, not figure it out. She was trying to provide.
provide, yeah, and I didn't tell her.
Does she know now?
She knew because I went to therapy
Mm-hmm.
about 5 years ago, and it got to a really dark place
Yeah.
that got me to, like,
Yeah.
call on myself because I thought I was suffocating, and it was by 3 different people, a woman, an older man, and a teenage boy.
Are these separate
Separate
occasions?
occasions.
What ages did they all happen at?
I don't remember. I just know that
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal to not
and it's
remember.
so interesting because
Hmm.
I know it was a female, but I can't see her face.
Wow.
It's almost like a shadow,
Wow.
which is I can't see her face.
So that's normal that you can't remember age or sometimes face, and sometimes people don't even remember the experience in detail
Right.
because when pain gets so excruciating, to your point of saying it got so dark, right, within you, um, the coping mechanism of completely avoiding the thought of it, it makes it to where your memory literally loses collection of what happened, and it's really so that you would be able to survive, because for a lot of people, remembering the incident is secondary trauma, and they just don't believe that they can survive even reenacting that mentally and emotionally. And so that's very normal for folks who experience sexual abuse, to shut down, forget about it. But what happens, to your point, is later on, that little girl becomes a woman and she starts to poke at the woman about unresolved pain pockets and issue and trauma. And the little girl is saying, I see you trying to grow. I see you being in relationships. I see you having a career. I see you being a mama. But in all that you've done, you still ain't seen me. And I'm still unseen. I'm still unhealed. I'm still broken. And people don't know this, but when we go on to live adult lives and try to create this beautiful world, and we leave behind the little girl, little boy that is in pain still, all we're doing is abandoning ourselves, just like we were abandoned by the people who were supposed to not drop us. And so all we do is continuously project pain onto that little person in us subconsciously. None
Right.
of us are doing it on purpose. Um, and it just, to your point, it inflames and inflames and inflames. And like everything, that you put too much in or on that consumes, you have system overload. You have a hangover emotionally. And that's where people end up in these nervous breakdowns. They end up in these depression to where they're having suicidal ideations. And for some people, unfortunately, it turns into suicide. And this is why I push and advocate for healing, therapy, coaching to be a lifestyle, not an intervention, but a lifestyle, so that we are taking preventative measures, because thank God for you, but for some people, it is too late. It's too late to have that conversation. It's too late because the depression has already seeped in. They cannot find the lights at all. And darkness is real. It is so real.
And I was telling someone, I'm like, had I not had faith, like God, in that moment,
Come on.
telling me that's you can't do that,
Hmm.
I wouldn't
Telling
have.
you can't do what?
I got to the point where, and it was so simple too. Like I had a toothache, and for whatever reason, it's almost like my physical pain finally matched my
Mm,
internal pain.
mm.
And I was sitting in the car, and that was when I had suicidal thoughts. Because normally I can regulate one, right? Like I'm not in physical pain, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
But this time, the pain was so
Everything
excruciating,
was peaking.
I couldn't handle it. And I just heard a voice, and that had to be God, because
Of
that's just
course.
who I
Of
believe
course.
was there. And God was like, nope,
Nope, what?
You're not gonna hurt yourself. You have your son. Like, this is not you. You're not gonna succumb to this. And I just called on myself.
Wow. And in that moment, if you're okay with sharing, if it's not too triggering for you, what were some of the thoughts that you remember that were some of your ideations?
I just wanted it to all end. And
Mm.
it's crazy to think
Mm.
that you don't even register the pain that you're gonna cause other people.
Ooh.
Like, that wasn't even a thought
But
in
because
my
you don't
mind.
have the capacity
Yeah, I just
to
couldn't
think
anymore.
or feel anything outside of that pain.
Right. I
And
couldn't.
yeah. So that's why when people say, and I understand why people say that is the most selfish thing someone can do. But because I've been in my field for 18 plus years now, I'm going, but when a person is at that point, they can't even think about themselves.
Right.
And to want to kill all the moving parts about yourself has to, one, be excruciating pain that no one ever wants to feel. Two, that is an intense self-hatred that says, I hate so much of me that I want to rid all of this.
Right.
And so when people are saying it's so selfish, I'm going, but you got to be very selfish to even not have compassion for somebody who is in that level of darkness, to think that they're selfish. No, they got here because they probably did almost all of what they are feeling by their fucking self.
Yep.
That's probably how they got there,
And protecting everybody else.
except
Me.
themselves.
Yep. My mom, by not telling her, right? Because as a little child, I knew that if I told her, she
Ooh,
wouldn't want to go to work.
wow, that's so
Like,
deep.
how crazy that a little being, and I tell people all the time, like, we need to give more credit to children.
Oh, I love
They're
that.
so much smarter.
Talk
And
about that's so good.
because as my little self, I still remember just
Swap out.
wanting to protect her because I saw how much she was trying to do the best she could.
Wow.
Um, that I couldn't break her heart.
So you carried her cross instead,
Yeah,
and yours.
and mine. And then,
How heavy?
oh, and then I moved to the States. She found my father, who is the most incredible human being, my
Really?
stepfather, but he
Oh,
adopted
so
me.
okay, so she didn't
She
find your biological,
no,
she met your stepfather.
my step but
Wow.
I don't even call it feels weird
He's your
calling
dad.
him that is my
He's your dad.
daddy through and
Yeah.
through. Like,
Shout out to him for being a hell
yeah,
of a man.
no, he was the most incredible human being and the best thing that happened to my mother. Um, so when we came here, where I saw it manifesting was then with my relationship with even being intimate with a man.
I'm sure, absolutely. Talk about
Because
that.
because when you suffer from that type of pain, you almost want to take the power away from it. So you're like, let me just get it over with.
Let me get what over with?
Having sex with somebody.
Mhm.
Let me just get it over with.
Unpack that more. Let me get over the act of sex,
Yeah.
meaning I'm not enjoying it.
No.
I'm doing it as more of a service thing because this
Yeah.
person wants it.
Yep.
Is it because the act of it becomes so triggering?
Yes. Yes. And I was like,
What was triggering about the act of the sex for you that you can recall?
just the thought of it brought me back to that. And I
Mhm.
hated that,
Mhm.
that I was like, let me just get it over with.
Yeah.
Let me just get it over with.
Do you still
And
feel like that now, or was that something you felt
no,
then?
I still felt like that,
Now. Got it.
which is so interesting. Like, I'm grown.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that I don't have needs, right?
Yeah.
Like, as women, we have needs as we get older. But what I have also learned, especially there's a lack of intimacy now with a lot of
Relationships in general. Yeah.
relationships.
So that safe space that's created through intimacy isn't becoming something that's offered or available. That's a great
Right.
point. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And
Especially for folks who come from trauma. who come from sexual assault backgrounds. It's like, where's a safe space? Where's the intimacy so that I can feel safe here? Yeah, that's a good
But
point.
see, I also dealt with abandonment issues, right?
Oh yeah, your dad.
That I
Just not
didn't
there.
even realize existed because I was sitting here like, why do I keep choosing these type of broken men?
But why? What was
Because,
the narrative you told yourself?
well, I have no idea. I was like, they need me.
They need you.
They need me,
For
right?
what?
And they're not going to leave because they need me. Well, the joke was on me, right?
Right.
Because that doesn't work.
But that just
Um,
means that you wanted them to need you.
correct.
And
Correct.
them needing you in your narrative fed what or did what?
Made me feel like, well, they're not going to do that to me. They're not going to leave me
Because they need you.
because they need me.
Meaning because they need me to stay,
Right.
that means I'm not disposable to
Correct.
them. So if they need me, a person who is needing something would stay plugged into their need of charge,
Hmm.
which was your abandonment saying, I'm codependent. I need to be needed for me to feel valuable,
Correct.
for me to feel seen, and so that I believe I'm not disposable. Because
Correct.
abandonment oftentimes makes people feel as though they're disposable and that they don't have any value. And so, folks who experience abandonment try to figure out, well, what can I provide? What can I give? People pleasing can come from that as well, right?
Yep.
What can I give to you that'll make you stay?
Yep.
And whatever you're giving, that is the conditions that that person is really staying, which means that is a conditional relationship. And as soon as the conditions go, guess what? You are disposable.
Yep.
And then that just repeats that abandonment vicious cycle over and over again.
Yeah.
So what happened with the men?
Well, I had my son at 21 years old. Had no business
Married or
no,
boyfriend or okay.
n- not even. I We
So
were casually dating.
living together.
No,
So broken home and broken family.
both, all of it.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
um, and the great part is that him and his myself and his dad are great
Co-parents, friends.
friends
Okay.
now.
Okay. Okay.
We can be in the same room. I tell him I want him to win. Like
Mm.
I think I've gotten to the point where it's like, what is all this, right? Because
Yeah.
I carried so much resentment from him abandoning my son
Mm.
for so long.
So you recreated
I
your
recreated,
dysfunction with your
yes,
baby. But remember, as a young girl, you learned that the idealistic man was a man who's not present.
right.
And see, that's all subconscious learned behavior that a lot of people don't talk about. We talk about the learned behaviors we can see, but subconsciously, a woman is what her daddy makes her. Meaning, if my association to a man is a man that was never there, then subconsciously, what do you think is familiar to me?
Yeah.
A man who won't be there.
And a woman that did everything.
Hello. There you go.
I literally created that same environment.
Mm.
And that broke my heart.
Well, let me say that better. You mean that broke your heart again?
Right.
Because it was already broken to choose the
Right.
brokenness.
Right.
Wow.
But it was so interesting
So you
because,
were mad at him. Hold on, God said you
right.
resented him for choosing him and recreating your dysfunctional pathology, and you recreated your broken heart in your baby subconsciously, not on purpose, because that's what dysfunctional pathology is.
Yep.
That's what generational curses are. It's the recreation of what broke me because I'm so familiar with brokenness that in order for me to feel normal and regulated, I got to recreate what I know. Because if
Yeah.
I create something outside what I know, the uncertainty of what I don't know triggers my abandonment, triggers my emotions, triggers my
Anxiety.
fear, triggers my anxiety. And even though it might be better, I don't know it. And if I don't know it, the old devil is better than the new devil. My
Yeah.
daddy used to always tell me that. Baby, don't get caught up in the old devil being better than the new devil.
Yep.
Because if the old thing is a devil, then we already know that's deception. So anything outside of that could possibly be better.
Yep.
But when we're in our pain, our dysfunction, our trauma, we don't know that. And we will always choose what's familiar if we don't heal what is familiar. Always. Listen, we could turn the lights off and we will calibrate to what is familiar to us.
And that is so crazy to me.
Wait, isn't it?
Like,
wait, isn't it though?
right.
It's
Because
so,
my logical self is like, girl, how
what
did
the
you get
hell are you
here?
doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And now I'm like, so the interesting part was that then I've been single now for 5 years,
Okay.
right? Because I said, that's enough. Like, I can't keep doing this to myself, to my son. I was engaged to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the people pleasing, the just, it's fine. I'll be fine. And then one day I woke up and I was like, I had gained 80 pounds,
Mm.
depression at,
I was gonna say that's depression in itself. Weight that comes on like that is a direct representation of depression.
yep,
Now, I'm not gonna name drop, but I have told one of my best friends that I ain't gonna say her name, okay? I'm gonna protect her privacy. That when you gain that much weight, and I
yep,
told her this when she was in her obesity, I'm gonna
yep,
call it what it is, and it wasn't me being mean. I was giving love. I'm saying, girl, you're depressed.
yep.
She argues me down to this day and says it wasn't depression. The thing that she said that actually I got to give her flowers on was, if I am depressed, I don't know it. And I said, guess what? Most people don't know when they're
I was a
depressed.
total full
And
functional
come
depressed
on,
person.
there you.
I went to work. I was happy. No one, no one, not even my own mother asked me, are you okay? I mean, she did for the vanity aspect
Yeah,
and for the, hey, remember
I
like the
checked in.
liver, like
Remember, I
this,
did it.
but nobody ever,
Yep.
not any of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
my fiance that
Mm-hmm.
was there seeing me every day,
Yep.
no one ever asked me if I was okay
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was so happy. I was so happy.
And I love that you said that because when people create this happy bubble so that no one else can see, they're drowning and bleeding and dying and miserable and depressed. Guess what? You start to believe your bubble. And that's how you say, I don't know, or didn't know, or don't know if I am depressed, because now I'm starting to believe
Yep.
this false reality that I created for y'all. But it only hurts you because now you're masking what really needs to be healed. And until it heals, you're not fooling us. You're only fooling yourself.
Right.
And for the people who do want to help you, you're not giving us anything to see to help. You're not giving us a wound, a vulnerability. You're not giving us a space to enter into and help. If everything is okay,
Yep.
how do we help?
And that's the part that I have a hard time with,
Which part?
allowing people to help
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know how.
Yeah.
I've figured everything out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I have great parents. They have been the most incredible support system, but also them. I feel like our parents, as sweet as they also have this generational, they don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
It's because I said
The
so.
generational
Like
ineffective communication.
yeah, where like they get what they mean, but I'm like, yo,
I don't get
I
it.
don't get what
It's
you
like
mean.
tradition with the new era folks who are
Right,
like, there's a gap between us
right.
and we have to fill it some kind of way.
Like my
Hmm.
mother, love her to pieces, love you.
Yeah, love you, mom.
But even today, when I was coming here, she was like, well, what are you going? I don't understand. What are you going to get out of it? And I was like, okay. Because their generation, or at least them two,
Hmm.
aren't comfortable talking about feelings
Yeah.
or, that's just,
And mom, we love you. No, and we respect you because I respect all
yes.
mamas, okay?
Yeah.
All mamas don't care what mess we put our kids in
Yeah.
who have been there to raise your kids. Listen, salute to you.
Yep.
But mothers who think like that, this is how we ended up in this. Because what we don't talk about, it don't get swept underneath the rug. It doesn't. it gets swept into the fibers of your children. And then you start to see your pathologies and your dysfunctions play out in their life. And if you're not willing to take accountability for that piece, then that child of yours goes on to do the same damn thing. And again, these pathologies, they just repeat themselves.
Yeah.
At some point, we have to know that our decisions are recreated and reincarnated in the decisions of our kids.
Hmm.
And so even the Bible talks about, a parent is only as peaceful or as joyful as their child. That's why I'm taking my time having them as their child. And so your heartbreak, just like your baby's abandonment, is really a direct reflection of mama. Here's a direct reflection of you. Because until somebody changes it, nothing changes at all.
It's just a cycle.
At all.
Yeah.
And it has to stop. So like I made a vow as a young girl, and that's why I haven't had kids, is I said, I'm waiting until I have my career. I'm waiting until I'm married. I'm waiting until I do my work. I'm waiting until I'm not this traumatized out, crazy ass little girl. I'm waiting until I'm not so reactive where I will flip my wig and flip yours too. I'm waiting until I could be responsive. I want to wait until I have some emotion. Girl, there's a lot of things that Dr. B had to work on, okay?
I'm like, that makes it sound like I'm gonna be single for like
It's
30
a lot.
years.
No, but I didn't want to be perfect, but I had to identify that so that I don't teach my child
True.
the red flags that I inherited that don't work in a relationship. And I'm 43. When I look back, I'm going, I would rather wait now and keep waiting
Yeah.
if that means that I get to save my offsprings. And it's not even save me, it's I want to make sure that they get a different parent than I got in the ways that didn't serve the woman in my family. But of course, the nurturing and loving parent that I have from my mother and grandmother, because those ways is what built me to be so solid and vertical in who I am. But their dominating, emasculating ways, their ability to be reactive, to have trauma responses, I nip those. I'm not investing in those. I'm not taking those and depositing those into my offsprings, period. And there's a certain environment, even in my home, that I'm going to only have and curate. And anything outside of that, I'm not doing. And so, but that takes time. It takes experience. It takes, again, words don't teach, experience does. And experience is what gives you wisdom. And I had to make sure that I shifted things. I took people in dosage. I pivoted from places. And I had to be okay with being lonely as fuck a lot of the time. Because self-work is a alone by yourself journey. And that is what I call the Moses journey. Is where you get your character, it's where you get your backbone, it's where you get your square, it's where you get your principles. And only then are you even halfway ready, because you're never really fully ready,
Right.
right? To
Right.
engage in something that is where you're responsible for your partner's emotions, this child's emotions, and
And
the
yours.
livelihood and yours of everything else. And
It's a
so,
lot.
love mom, but when we don't support our kids in being able to unpack and process through things, it only hinders everyone collectively, even her,
True.
even her, because you healing is also the biggest part of her healing. It really is.
And it's crazy because my son now, what a different child.
Wow.
Like he's known what he's wanted to do since he was 4 years old. He tells me, he's like, Mom, you turned me into the actor that I am today
Oh.
because you were too broke to buy me gifts, but or like toys, but we would
Love
play
him.
pretend.
Yeah.
That's all we would do. And he got himself into a private school where I hardly pay
So he
anything.
got a scholarship. Go ahead,
Scholarship,
baby.
4.3 GPA, wants to go to Yale. And I'm just like, I don't know God's grace
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. It's sufficient. It is
because
sufficient.
I'm like, he has such a different mentality than I do.
But he has a different mama, whether you
True.
believe it or not. You're here on the couch. You're
True.
unpacking. You're talking about pain. You're talking about trauma. And again, with all love and due respect to your mother, Not only did she not support you in your endeavor to do this, she also said, what are you going to get out of it?
Yeah.
So she, created a debt before you even came to see if you can accrue some equity.
Yeah.
And so he has a different mama. You're actually doing the work. Your mom didn't. And she still doesn't want to right now. That's tradition though. That's a traditional
Which is
mama,
so interesting, right? Coming from another country, culturally, what's accepted. But see, she lost her mom at 11. My grandma passed away.
Oh, wow.
And then my grandfather abandoned them because he panicked and left 6 kids.
So your mom recreated her entire childhood in you.
Yeah.
Same man,
Mhm.
different vessel. Your mom neglected you because she had to pay the bills. So that's the only time I
Correct.
condone neglect. It's like, listen, we got to do what we have to do. I get
Yep.
that. But she neglected you, but that's the same thing, or that's not the same, similar to not having a mother as a young girl. So all she did was pass on to you her experiences that she never healed,
Mhm.
but also that she didn't like,
Yeah.
that she didn't like.
Yeah.
Does she know that?
No.
You've never had that conversation with her?
No. Because she's and she says it herself. She said, I wish I wasn't so judgmental.
Oh, so there's some awareness
So
there.
she's gaining awareness just because, like, she knows we're in a different place, a different society,
Different era, yeah,
different era. Like, so she has come
to
to
be
her,
exposed to like
yeah, to
different
different
things.
things that
Yeah,
she wasn't as a child. Over there, it's very traditional,
yeah,
more conservative. You don't talk about everything's taboo. You
yeah.
don't talk about sex with your kid, like all the things. So she actually always tells me she admires like my son and what
Mm.
job I've done with him because she's like, I love that he just is fearless. He doesn't care. Like, and I'm sitting there like, I wish he would have done that with
With
me.
you. Yeah, yeah.
But she always says, like, but I just didn't know.
And she
And
didn't.
she
She
didn't.
didn't know.
So
She didn't.
it's like,
She
it's
did what
such
she
like,
knew.
right, right.
Yeah.
Where I didn't know, I
Hmm.
just kind of figured it
But
out.
you also knew what didn't serve you,
Right,
and you did something opposite.
right,
Then, regards to what it was, something opposite that actually serves you better. And this
right.
is why I tell people, it's, oftentimes it's not, you knowing where you want to go that gets you there. It's knowing that you want to get the hell up out of where you don't want to be
Right.
that'll
That
get you
part.
there. Sometimes tying up your track shoes and just saying, I got to leave here will get you somewhere at least out of there. And almost all the time, I mean, I want to say all the time, almost all the time, you being bold and courageous enough to leave what doesn't work, God orders your steps into what He had planned for you, which is what will work. It's just about having the courage to say, I know that I got to leave this,
Yeah.
and being okay in the uncertainty and trusting the process and trusting your God and trusting your faith and saying, wherever I land, right, is where God will have me to be. He
Right.
said he'll be a lamp to our feet. Trust him and call him out on his principles.
Yeah. And I guess the part that now I'm at right now is I can see the being interested in the same type of guy. Like
Mm-hmm.
all those little
Mm-hmm.
things creep up, right? And I'm like, yo, you can't go backwards. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
to
But
move
at least you
forward.
have the awareness,
Yes.
right? And I always say, and as we got to wrap in a few minutes, but I always say that when we first learn what the red flags are, we become familiar with that. And what we focus on magnifies. So if I only know what the red flags look like, then I'm going to focus on what?
But they don't. Yeah.
The red flags.
Yeah.
And what I focus on is going to magnify. So your job is to reprogram that, especially coming, from being a fatherless little girl, and get around men who have green flags so that you can start to identify these are green flags. And let me focus on the green flags that I want to magnify, because if not, you will only see, like your mother, what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And exposure is expansion, is power. If all I know is red roses and you go to show me other colors, I may not even be able to identify that it's a rose. Or I may have questions about it. Like, is it real? Was it painted? Was it spray painted? Like, roses come in that color? And until you tell me, yeah, they do, I'm limited to red roses. And oftentimes people are so limited to their red flags because that's all they know.
That's what's comfortable.
And you only choose what you know. And we're so busy being caught up in our limited sight and not what the Bible talks about, which is vision. The Bible says, have a vision, write it clear so that anybody who reads it, they can actualize it. But we're so caught up in what we see, which is sight, and not the vision of what I see isn't working for me. That's my sight. Let me mentally create something totally outside of that, even if it's imaginary, so I can reprogram. It's called cognitive reprogramming my mind. And now I can have a different vision. And until that vision actualizes, I got to run those visual plays. That's reprogramming. That's self-mastery. I don't have to live in the reality of what I see. I'm supposed to be creating the vision of what I want. And the faith is, I know what's going to happen. Let me keep recreating it. The work, which is faith that works is dead. The work is, let me make sure every time that I realize there's a red flag, the obedience is not choosing it.
Right.
Because obedience is the main recipe that unlocks God's will, for sure. Every Bible story in the Bible talks about obedience. It talks about when Peter told Jesus, "If you're real, call me out and let me walk on water." And Jesus said, "Oh, well, I'm that dude. So come on." And he called Peter out of his boat and had Peter walking on water. It wasn't until a storm came did Peter stop looking at Jesus. The moment he stopped looking at Jesus, he began to sink.
Yep.
But the obedience was, keep your eye on who your source is. If I'm the one blessing you, I'm the one you called on, I'm giving you what you called for, why aren't you obedient enough to stay plugged into me? But this is how beautiful Jesus is and God. He began to sink. But as soon as he began to sink, he called out to Jesus, and Jesus said,
"Come here.
I got you." So I'm telling that story because it doesn't matter where we start to sink, begin to sink, start to flutter, begin to have suicide ideations, depression, confusion, pathologies, dysfunction. If we call on our higher being, there is no more sinking. But if we keep our eyes on the obedience of who our source is from the beginning, doesn't mean the storm doesn't come.
Right.
It just means
You're
our
able to
obedience
keep
will
your
get,
money.
it'll
Yeah.
get us there without the detour of sinking, without the emotional roller coaster of all of the stuff that we detour ourselves on. God don't detour us, we do it. He
The
has principles.
self-sabotage.
I love that.
So
Peter
true.
self-sabotaged.
Mm-hmm.
On the what? Peter, we got a new thing for you, Peter. He didn't self-sabotage.
So true.
He did.
Yeah. And we do it all the time.
Because the storm is a distraction. The men you choose, and that's a distraction to your healing.
It is.
Even, love your mama, even your mom saying, what you gonna get from that? She doesn't even know, but that's a distraction from getting the healing, from keeping your eye on the resource, which is your healing, which is whatever God has, his will is for you. And so when you're talking about choosing the same guys, you have to check yourself and remind yourself that Moses got to the promised land, but didn't make it into the promised land because God told him to speak to the rock, and Moses' disobedience tail hit the rock. But God kept his promise and brought him to the promised land. But your obedience is what gets you in. And so if you keep choosing these men hitting the rock, then you'll be at the promised land your whole life. And so many people die at the promised land versus Caleb and Joshua made it in because of their obedience and because they believed. But people who believe are obedient. Because if I believe you, then how am I not staying obedient to you?
So true.
And so with you, not all of your work, but what I hear from this session is you, when you see those red flags, have obedience of saying, I don't choose those. God, show me what I should be choosing. And until you show me what I should be choosing, I just won't choose anything but myself and you. So I'll keep my eye on the prize while I walk on water. Because as long as I'm walking on water, I'm headed to where I'm supposed to be. And when the storm comes, which means another guy who you ain't supposed to choose, and you
Right.
accidentally
'Cause they
choose
will
him,
come.
remember, and you accidentally choose him, because we do that too,
Yeah.
ladies. And you take your eye off the prize by choosing this joker. You have to just call on who?
God. Yeah.
God, I'm sinking. And what will he do?
Yeah.
Reach out his hand and pull you right back in alignment. And then we just recalibrate and we do it over and over again because God's grace is sufficient. He said, if you make your bed in hell, there I am. So while you sinking, he was there too. You just keep calling on him until one time after he gets you out of that storm that you became disobedient for, you get it right. You get it right. That means we have to be gentle with ourselves. We have to have compassion for ourselves. That means that we have to allow space for us to get off kilter because of the storm and get back up there and be empowered and trusting enough of God and ourselves in the process to continue to walk back on water no matter what it looks like. But you cannot beat yourself up and empower yourself at the same time. They can't coexist because you can't be lukewarm. You got to choose one. And when we're beating ourselves up, we are out of the alignment of God's will because God tells us think only on the thoughts that are good, prosperous, and praiseworthy. So if you wouldn't think it, if you wouldn't pray for it, I should say, you shouldn't think it.
And that's where the dualities exist, right?
Come on.
Yeah.
Talk about the dualities real quick before we wrap up for you.
That I have to just accept that that little girl exists. I think I've just been putting her away too
Because you
long.
don't want to be bothered with her.
Yeah.
Because
It's
she
too
brings you too
painful.
much pain.
Yeah.
You don't want to be, you want her to go somewhere in a corner and play with a Barbie. But guess what? She has too much pain to do that.
Yeah.
And until you heal her, she can't be the little girl that she should have been able to be from the beginning.
So true.
So you have the key to her freedom, which frees you, which is the healing of her. And how do you do that? You allow her to come up. Don't suppress her. Don't neglect her. When she comes up when you're driving or you're in the shower or by yourself, stop. Give her 5-10 minutes to just sit with her and ask.
And looking back, I realized that she's actually a lot of the times trying to save me.
Because you keep doing the
Because
same
I keep doing,
bullshit.
yeah. And she's over here like, no, girl, no. And I just, yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
Because she knows already what's not good.
Well, because you only got where you are right now because of her.
Yeah,
We're not going to give you the props.
it's true.
She
Because she was
survived
the
it,
warrior. Yeah, it's so true.
not you.
It's so
She
true.
was.
I never looked at it that way.
So when she pulls up and says, no, go,
Right.
she got the wisdom. She's been through it.
So
She got
true.
the backbone. See, she's not crying right now.
It's so
You're
true.
crying for her.
She'd never cried.
She been rocking and rolling. That's why you're able to be here.
That's
So you need to be
crazy.
grateful for her, not resentful toward her. You need to be thanking her, not neglecting her.
That's so crazy. I never thought about it like that. I'm over here thinking I'm saving her.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Wow.
And I say this with all due respect. You ain't strong enough to save her. This version of you ain't strong enough to save her. Because this version of you, and this is going to sound like I'm hitting hard, and I probably am, but I'm going to wrap it with love, okay?
Yeah.
This adult version of you has suicidal ideations. So you can't save her. But that little girl, she didn't.
So true.
She thugged that shit out. And you got the nerve to want to neglect her and be mad at her. You owe her a shift in perception. You owe her respect. You owe her love. And you owe her time to hear her out. Because when you connect her with you, there goes your wisdom. There goes your healing. And that is what we call our inner being. That's our discernment. That's our inner being. That is the spirit.
God was with her.
And it's still with you.
Yeah. So true.
But
I never thought about it like that. It's crazy.
so what I want you to do is, I want to offer that you do is, when you get time by yourself, just you, I want you to sit for a good 15 minutes, put timer on your phone, and play some instrumental music, like no words though. YouTube has it free. Just put it on. And I want you to have a conversation with her. And I want you to start it. And I want you to apologize to her. And I want you to thank her for being the strong little stinker she was. And I want you to tell her how grateful you are for her. I want you to give her all her flowers. And then when you're done saying that, I want you to ask her, now, what do you need from me for you to be free? What do you need from me? And make a commitment that you are going to hear her out and you are going to lock hands and not horns with her, because you locking horns with her and that's just locking horns with you.
Making myself so unhappy.
Yeah. And the suicide was about you getting rid of her.
Was. Oof.
Yeah. That's deep. But it's real.
Oh man. That is
Right?
so true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I could tell my mom what I got.
Tell her exactly what you got out of
That
it.
is crazy.
Right? So that she would stop bugging you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want to deal
Yeah.
with the pain anymore.
And you're trying to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like us mad at Jesus for carrying the cross, the crucifixion for our sins. We mad at him? He's dying for our sins. She's like, I carried your cross, girl. The least you can do is hear me out, love on me, respect me, not neglect me. Yeah. So,
Thank you.
of
Wow.
course. No, thank you for trusting me
Yeah.
and letting me see you. And I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to the little girl in you. I love her for being so strong. I really like her because she don't take no shit.
She doesn't.
I really like her. I love you, but I really, really, really love her.
No, she
And
was so fierce.
oh, she
And
ain't
I
playing.
talk about it all the time too. Creative, unapologetic, like
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah,
And I lost her.
yeah. And
And then I see glimpses of her and my baby. Because he's like that. Fearless, unapologetic, creative as hell.
but you nurtured that in him.
Yeah.
That's why it has grown in him.
Yeah.
You got to nurture that in the little girl in you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because all it can do is show up in the woman in you.
True.
That's it. So do that. It's called a meditation when you get home, a healing meditation. And be quiet and let her talk and let her just cry. But let her have her space and what she deserves and leave her alone.
Yeah.
And love on her and build a relationship with her. My best friend is a little girl in me. She be tripping. She does, but I make sure that I manage her and I tell her, go play. But she does what she comes back. No, 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 no. I'm like, I get it. We're not doing that again. So as we wrap, just you know, I always have people, look in the camera and just tell another woman who might be where you were or where you are experiencing these things, kind of just how does she navigate that? It doesn't even have to be nothing long, just how does she navigate this?
Um, I think just God.
Mm,
God and loving yourself first. I think as women, we try to take care of everybody and we neglect ourselves. Um, we self sabotage, we compare, and I think you just have to love you, all of you.
mm,
Yeah.
all of you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you. I
Thank you
honor you.
so
I
much.
love you. You really opened up, and thank you.
Thank you.
You said you want to do the work, and you came and worked.
Yeah.
So I
Took my
appreciate it.
lashes off.
And that's okay. That's okay. You all listen. Oh, that was so deep. Oh my gosh, that was deep. For those of y'all who have a little girl, little boy in you that you've been neglecting or abandoning, I want to offer that you give them the space that they deserve. We've all made it this far because the little us was strong enough to survive, to create coping mechanisms, to kick ass, to pray, to play, to hide, whatever that little person in you did. It's the warrior in them that has created the person in you today. And what we need to do is build a relationship with our inner self, our inner younger self, and not negate or push away because of embarrassment, because of shame, because of guilt, because of pain. That is the other half of you. And until you get in alignment with the child in you, your life and your world will always be dismantled, and there will always be something, the biggest piece of you missing. So I offer that you thank that little person in you, because you're here because of them. And y'all, that's been another session of In Session with Dr. Bryant. See you next time. Oh, give me some love,
Yeah.
girl. You did
Where
so
have you
good.
been all my life?